Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Inside Crypto, where we, from the perspective of a hedge fund, will tell you what we think about cryptocurrencies. I am hopeful that by presenting to you the perspective of our hedge fund, I can suggest that other hedge funds might perceive it in a similar manner. This insight could potentially be beneficial and valuable to you. Our hedge fund's approach is based on extensive research and analysis, and we believe that sharing this information might provide a broader understanding of the market dynamics. Perhaps by considering our viewpoint, you might find it useful in your own financial strategies and decision-making processes. And I think it definitely is, because I see that these forecasts now are proving to be quite accurate. Well, we'll see how it goes experimentally. We're doing it, and I wish everyone good luck in trading, by the way, in the new year. So what did I say recently? Recently, I mentioned that I can't imagine the market not being tempted to clear those stop losses around $2,000. Here you have a picture from last week. So where are we? Weekly low. Well, who would have expected that exactly at the accumulation of those stop losses, position liquidations, and right there the market, it went to clear those stop losses. And I told you that this is a good point to clear, and I mentioned that it should align with the declines on Wall Street. If there are declines on Wall Street, the market will likely not resist those declines. And that's exactly what happened. The drop in stock prices on Wall Street brought cryptocurrencies down, especially Bitcoin. That's beautiful. It fulfilled the forecast. We have cleared those stop losses, the perfect bottom, at the accumulation from those liquidations. Well, on the other hand, the range was quite large since the last recording upwards. We definitely surpassed that liquidation level. Well, as I told you, I'm expecting $190,000 this year. So I wouldn't worry about what's happening upwards. I would use these sell-offs more for accumulating long positions. And here we have a look at the upcoming week. Very small accumulation levels, liquidation levels. On the left side, maybe the market will still be tempted by that 90,800. If that's the case, then absolutely use it for even more accumulation. Well, upwards, there are beautiful levels. It's like there's plenty of room to work. As we say, there's a lot to liquidate. It's a cascading arrangement of those liquidations. What's the most beautiful thing that can happen for large capital who would like to exit from a larger number of positions? So that's how it looks. We'll see if the market will argue about touching that 90. It's hard for me to make predictions. I am definitely a bullish optimist. 190,000 this year. Nothing to add, nothing to take away. And let's move on. Ethereum. And I really like this, comparing now Ethereum to silver. And today, on the Inside Solution 1 program, where I talk about traditional markets, I mentioned that, well, silver is like that. No, it's heavy. You can already see it above certain levels. That there's a fundamental supply of this silver. And just like I sometimes compare Bitcoin to gold, Ethereum is the silver of cryptocurrencies. And it's the same story. You can see the sluggishness of Ethereum. It's clear that it just struggles at certain levels. Well, this market, even despite the bull run in crypto, is very sluggish. And you can see that just by looking at where the market has dropped, right? Liquidations were around 3,300 and the market even hit a low of 3,150. This simply shows the weakness of this market. Well, of course, who was entering those positions at those levels? As I mentioned, of course, he made a profit because it was around 3,300 and now it's at 444 and 4. So that's definitely a profit, but it just shows that sluggishness. And I think it will continue like this, that even when it becomes obvious, this Ethereum bull market will be sluggish and will only then cease to be sluggish until the altcoins start moving, until the so-called alt season begins. But I don't think that's the moment yet. It's Bitcoin that's driving the increases. Bitcoin controls everything, and Bitcoin is controlled by Wall Street. So this is not yet the phase of alt season in cryptocurrencies. Well, when it comes to liquidations, Ethereum positions, are there any hedge funds that might be tempted to do some liquidations here? Well, there aren't too many of them. Up to 3,200 maybe. Well, if it gets there, then you could probably start accumulating, but definitely going uphill. So it looks like in the near future, it's more about harvesting, collecting here from 3,300 to 3,600. But as I said, when it comes to cryptocurrencies, it's tough with Ethereum. You can even see it. Just look, because I rarely talk about this, because that wall of supply and demand is usually not such a good predictor. But it seems to me that in the case of Ethereum, especially on the supply side, you can look at it this way. To look at it, well, that supply wall is quite significant. There are liquidations, but also a supply wall. So even if someone wanted to push things and liquidate a position here, they wouldn't be able to. Hedge funds or large capital might jump in here because the positions accumulated will anticipate it, and they also want to get in on exiting those positions. So it's a tough position. It's a tough situation, and even if someone wanted to trigger a rise, they would run into a supply wall. It's hitting a supply wall. And let's take a look at Bitcoin. Well, here, of course, it's similar, but with Bitcoin, as I said, you don't see that sluggishness with Ethereum as much. I hope Ethereum finally takes off, because that would signal the start of alt season. It works, of course, like it usually does in the markets, in two ways. Either Ethereum might move first and then alt season will start, or it could be the other way around. We'll see how it goes. As for crypto, I'm definitely bullish, especially on Bitcoin. And over time, I think Ethereum and alt season will definitely join in, and alt season will begin. And in today's episode, that's all. Thank you very much for your attention, and I invite you to the next Inside Crypto in a Week.